What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Q, the movie collector, here again, back again with another 4K review. Um, Today is going to be a bit of a celebration. 40-year celebration. 40-year celebration at that of a classic, iconic film from the 80s, of course. Um, if you're a fan of horror films in general, or even just a fan of 80s horror films, you can't talk about 80s horror films without talking about this movie. It's a classic, an absolute classic. And I'm talking about Stuart Gordon's Re-Animator. This is a H.P. Lovecraft tale that Stuart Gordon originally put in as I think he originally wanted to do this as a musical, I think, if I remember correctly. But he decided to direct this film, and I think he wrote it too. Let me see here. But it's based on H.P. Lovecraft's Herbert West, the Re-Animator. So it is based on that story. But yeah, this is an absolute classic. My history with this film, shockingly enough, began back in 99, I want to say. There was a little movie, which also happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time, that I discovered this movie from, and that was American Beauty. There's a scene in American Beauty where the guy next door brings up to what is his name? Anywho, he brings it up to him and says, "Hey, I have a Re-Animator. You want to watch it?" "Oh yeah, that's a great film." So I was like thinking, okay, Re-Animator, huh? Let me see if this movie exists. I looked it up, and boom, there it was, Re-Animator. So I decided to go to my local library. I checked out the DVD and watched it and became a lifelong fan of this film. Now, I will say I've never seen the sequels to this, but this has always been one of my favorite horror films. Probably easily in my top 15. Easily in my top 15. But no, the movie, it follows this character, Herbert West, which is played by Jeffrey Combs, which he knocks it out of the park as this character. Jeffrey Combs is Herbert West. I don't care what anybody says, that's Herbert West. Starts off with him. He is a scientist that's creating this reanimation serum that he's always testing out to see if it works. At the very beginning, it starts off with he's injected a person already with this stuff, and they're trying to stop the guy from going crazy. And then fast forward, and then you've got I forgot what the other guy's name is. What is his name? Bruce Abbott. You got Bruce Abbott, who is a student studying, I guess as a nurse or trying to get his doctorate or whatever. And he's basically learning in the field. And he gets tasked with, showing Herbert West around and everything. And he learns of Herbert West's intentions. And Herbert West, he's like giving the doctor there a run for his money, just degrading him every chance he gets because he's not very smart. He's stealing all his material. But then you meet Bruce Abbott's girlfriend, played by the gorgeous Barbara Crampton, which she still looks amazing to this day. And you get a movie that's filled with a lot of crazy moments, especially when people get injected with that serum. I mean, things just goes right off the rails. You get a severed head that's reanimated. I don't want to spoil it. Again, I don't spoil stuff for people. That's not my thing. But you get a reanimated cat. You get a whole You get a whole morgue pretty much reanimated, which the ending is just bonkers. But yeah, it's a fun ride if you've never watched this before. I always recommend to people great horror films to check out, and this definitely you got to have this in your collection. Now, a few years ago, Arrow released their version of it, which they had a nice little chunky box set of it, and I want to say that was a 2K remaster. I could be wrong. Came with a lot of features and all that stuff. And so this go around, you get Ignite Films that released this beautiful box set. They had, I think there's 3 different versions of this. Yeah, it's 3 different versions. You've got the normal 4K with Blu-ray slip. You've got the deluxe edition. And then you got the Super Edition, which you got the bobblehead of Dr. Hill. We'll go into that later. I'll talk about that soon. but yeah, I mean, they really went all out with this. You see how thick this is? This reminds me, honestly, of a Second Sight release. This kind of reminds me of a Second Sight release. But Ignite Films, man, they went through and they went all out with this. Do you see this? Feel free to pause it to take a look at all the features on here. It took a minute for this to come out, and you'll see here everything up here in this area are features that they took time to actually get new features for this. All of this material is really great. And also inside this chunky box set, they didn't skimp. They did not skimp at all. You've got, trying to get it here. You got this nice hardbound book. And again, great quality. Filled with tons and tons of essays in here. You got nice pictures in here. I don't want to flip through here in case there's some stuff I can't show on YouTube. But yeah, you get a lot of stuff. I think this, how many pages are in here? You get, let's see. Does it say how many pages are in here? Let me see. That's all pictures. You get 132 pages in here. You get 132 pages. And then you also get these nice glossy photos in here. As you know, I'm not a art card kind of guy. I've said that plenty of times before. I think they're useless, but those are actually pretty nice, so I don't mind those. And they're actually pretty big, so I'll give it that. And then you get like this digipack ordeal with the disc in it. So, and they've done something different here on this side here. They've done something different. It's really weird, but it works. It works. This is unlike any digipack I've ever seen before, but interesting way to get the disc out in this. So yeah, that's those are the discs. And let me go over the special features here. Let me see if I get everything back in here nice and neat. Come on, get in there. There we go. Get in there. Get in there. Okay, it doesn't want to cooperate. This is why I'm not a huge fan of like art cards. That's why I'm not a huge fan of them. To all the people out there, I know there's people who are heavy duty fans of art cards. I'm just not one of those guys. They just tend to get in the way. So you do get a lot of features in here. You get one of the new bonus features. You get Re-Animator at 40, a conversation with Jeffrey Combs, Barbara Crampton, and Brian Usna. Which that is worth a watch. It goes through pretty much everything. They talk about everything involved in this film on that. I don't know how long it is. It's pretty lengthy, but it's definitely worth watching. You got Piece by Piece, Cutting Re-Animator with Lee Percy. You got The Horror of It All, The Legacy and Impact of Re-Animator. Susie Sorority and The Good College Boy, an interview with Carolyn Purdy Gordon. I Give Her Life, a look back at Re-Animator the musical. That was really good too. Reanimating a horror classic, the 4K restoration of Re-Animator. That's a good watch too. The Organic Theater Company of Chicago, a 1977 documentary featuring rarely seen interview footage of Stuart Gordon and other members of the theater, new 40th anniversary 4K trailer. So you get all of those new things in there, which that is definitely worth it, especially if you're a fan of the film. I mean, they go through everything on here. That's also to add too, if you like the features from the Arrow release, those are also included in here. They don't leave anything out in this. I mean, you get everything Re-Animator for this release here in this package. And I will even go as far as to say this, and people are going to hate me for saying it. If you're a fan of Re-Animator and you bought that Arrow release, pick this up. Oops. Pick this up. Definitely pick this up. Especially a huge fan, this is worth the pickup. I rarely tell anybody, you should, buy the newer versions because it's all nice and shiny. This is worth the pickup. This is definitely worth the pickup. And that's not to say, if you're a huge fan of that Arrow set, that's not to say you need to go and sell it. I mean, keep it. I mean, it's that Arrow set. I mean, the art on it looked amazing. It was different. But this is, like I said, this is worth picking up if you're a fan, if you're definitely a fan. Now, let's talk about the 4K. Now, you'll see in the images that I'm providing for you right now, I've got images of the Blu-ray that Arrow put out, and I've also got images of the 4K from Ignite Films. And I'm comparing them both, as you'll see here. Now, the Arrow still looks good. It don't look bad. I mean, for the longest time, that was our version of Re-Animator that we wanted to watch the movie. It still looked good. But compared to this 4K, I'm going to get a little controversial with this. Ignite Films, you guys may have produced the best looking 4K of this year so far. I've said it. I've said it. In my opinion, this is the best 4K. It's the one 4K that has been shown so much love. And I get it. You got people out there that's going to be like, Ignite Films, what have they ever done? They're a small company. They don't have a lot of movies in their thing. Are they trustworthy with this? I can remember definitely when it was announced that Ignite Films was doing this 4K release. People were already, shutting it down before we saw anything. They were like, I'm just going to sit around and wait for the Arrow version to come out, for them to do their 4K of it, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm here to tell you, I mean, it's already been revealed, too, that Arrow's not going to be getting a version of this. It's just not going to happen. Ignite Films has the rights for this. That's just plain and simple. That's just about as good as it's going to get. But I would tell you to get this with confidence. This 4K looked absolutely amazing from start to finish. The Arrow actually had little lines that showed up in certain portions of the movie, so it wasn't really cleaned up really as good. That big machine they ran the negative through to clean everything up speaks volumes. It speaks volumes to the love and care that they did for this film. Now, the sound is still pretty much the same that you get from the other releases. Now, I will say this. They have 3 different tracks as far as audio is concerned. There's a mono track, there's a stereo track, and then there's a 5.1 track. I'm just going to keep it 100 with you guys. That 2.0 stereo track, that's the best audio track on this disc. That's the best audio track on this disc. And I also forgot to add, too, you get the integral cut on the Blu-ray on here. I've never seen the integral cut before, even on my Arrow release of it. I didn't get the chunky box, so only had the unrated version on it. But I'm going to actually at some point sit down and watch the integral cut. I really want to see it. A lot of people say there's a lot of, a lot of stuff in it that shouldn't be in it, but I want to watch it, man. I'm a fan of this movie, so I'm definitely checking it out. And I want to also add this to people watching this video review. I'm going to be doing a giveaway soon. As you know, we're fast approaching on my Instagram channel of 1,000 followers. I'm gonna put a little thing up here for YouTube. We're gonna do I'm gonna do a giveaway. We got to get me to 200. We got to get me to 200. If we get me to 200 subscribers below, I will do a giveaway of this set. I will do a giveaway of this set. And I'll make that announcement. I'll do the entire little raffling process. I'll do all of that. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything. So don't send me any money to get in on this. All you have to do is like this video, comment below. Now the comment that I want you guys to put down in here is I want you to put in, I give her life. I want in. Put that in there. I give her life. I want in. Put that in the comments below if you want to be entered in for the giveaway. And I'm not just giving away the slipcover. I'm giving away the deluxe edition, the big boy. I'm going to be giving it away. Now, this only applies for people in the States. It only applies for people in the States. I'm sorry to people in the UK or Canada. Sorry. I wish I could include you guys. But I can't. But I'm going to be doing a giveaway of this set. So make sure you do all of those things below. I'll definitely appreciate it. I'll probably be making a post at some point on Instagram about it. And I'll also post it on my page as well here on YouTube, on the channel. But yeah, that's the review for Re-Animator. And without that being said, man, I highly recommend this. I highly, highly recommend this. If you're not picking this up, you're sleeping. You're sleeping if you're not picking this up. But yeah, that's the video, people. And as always, I appreciate each and every last one of you guys. Just please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And I will chat to you guys soon. Peace.